Hello everyone, welcome to Storytime. I am Miss Dymond and I love reading stories to kids and people of all ages. Thank you so much for being with me today. If you enjoyed listening to these stories and receiving the wisdom and lessons from them, please click on the subscribe button so that you'll be notified when more Storytime episodes come available. And also, hit the thumbs up to let me know that you are liking and enjoying the videos. And if you desire, we greatly appreciate your donations. The donation buttons are in the description box below. Here at Storytime, we read stories and share moral messages and life lessons learned from the story. All right, are you ready? Let's get started. Today's story is called The Heron and the Fish. The Heron and the Fish. And for today's vocabulary word, it's heron. Heron. A heron is a large bird with long legs and a long S-shaped neck and a long pointed bill or beak. So imagine this large bird with these skinny legs so that he can wade in the water and use his long pointed bill or beak to pluck out fish that are in the water. So let's read what happens in this story of the heron and the fish. Once upon a time, an old heron who was finding it very hard to fish approached a school of fish and their friend, a crab. In the nearby pond, he said to them, "Have you heard the bad news? The fishermen will be coming here in a few days to catch all of you." The fish got scared. They cried, "What? Is that true? What are we going to do now?" The heron said slyly, "I have an idea. I know of another beautiful lake. We can go there. I'll carry you, one fish at a time, over to the other lake." There was a young naive fish that said, "Take me first." The heron took the fish in his beak and flew away. He returned another day to get another one. And he returned the next day to get another one, until all the fish were gone. Only the wise crab was left. It was the crab's turn. So the heron said, "You're left, I'll take you." But the crab was too big to fit in his mouth. So he rode on his back. So the crab got on the back of the heron and they flew away. Along the way, the crab looked down and noticed a lot of fish bones underneath as they were flying. He found this very unusual to see so many fish bones in one place. He said to himself, "The heron is a liar. He's eaten up all of these fish. He never took them to the other lake. And I bet you he's going to eat me too. I'll have to find a way to escape." Thinking quickly, he immediately, with his crab claws, he clasped the heron's throat and he choked him. You know, a crab can hold on pretty tightly. So he choked the heron, and the heron struggled in pain, but he fell to the ground, and the crab freed himself from the heron and rushed back to his old pond. The heron was never seen again, and the crab learned a lesson that day: to never trust and go with strangers. And that's the story of the heron and the fish. We should call it the heron and the fish and the crab. So what is the lesson here? Well, it talked about a very obvious lesson, which is you don't want to go somewhere with a stranger, someone you don't know, someone you don't have a history with, and someone you don't trust. So what made these fish go with the heron? Because the heron basically instilled fear in these fish, and he used that fear to offer a solution that they believed, they trusted, and they went away with him. So the easy moral of that story, don't go away with strangers. Don't put your trust on people you don't know who just come upon you from who knows where and have whatever intentions and sell you a story and you go away with them. Your fate could be something terrible. Okay, so that's very clear. Don't do that. So as Miss Dymond likes to do, let's take a little deeper look into the story, because there's a pattern that I see here that I want to share with you. The fish were fine in this pond up until the moment they received the fear that was instilled in them from the heron. So the fish were absolutely fine, frolicking in the water or doing whatever they do, swimming along. And the heron is the one with the problem, because these fish are swimming and he can't catch one. So he goes and tells a lie to them, which instills fear. And a good acronym for fear, F-E-A-R, is false evidence appearing real. The fish bought into the story. They never did any fact checking. They never checked with any other fish to see if they had seen any fishermen. They just acted in fear, believed this heron story, and did something unthinkable, actually left their home to go away with this heron whom they had never met before. So here's the pattern. Oftentimes when someone wiser, even if their intentions are nefarious, they will make up a story to get you all in fear. Because when we are in fear, we do things that are irrational, because now we feel like we are no longer safe. And because we feel like we are no longer safe, we may do things that we would not ordinarily do. It's a self-preservation mechanism that we do as human beings to protect ourselves, to protect our life. And it may mean taking risks that we wouldn't ordinarily take. So he goes, creates a lie, a false scenario, instills fear, and in fear, we act and do things that we ordinarily wouldn't. In this case, go out with a stranger, take them at face value, and walk into a dangerous situation. Willingly going into a dangerous situation. So let's talk about that. What are some examples in real life where this happens? I think about it every time I hear a commercial for some new medicine. Do your feet hurt? Are your feet tired at the end of the day? You need this medicine. See your doctor about it. And ignore all of these symptoms that come with it. Loss of life, loss of breath, strangulation. Those are just side effects, but don't worry about that. This is what you need. Another case, someone comes along. Are you tired of working that 9-to-5 job and not being appreciated? You need to take my 10-step system to success. Come and buy my system. It worked for me. And you say, yeah, I can relate to that. I am tired of working this job. I'm going to buy his system. Or whatever it may be. Are you having trouble with X, Y, and Z? Don't you want to be like the rich and famous you see on TV? Come to my medical lab. We'll fix you up and have you looking like a perfect 10 in no time at all. Now I know I'm being a little sarcastic, but that's how the ads sound to me when I hear them on TV, but it's essentially the same formula. Someone comes into your life, tells you you have a problem. We believe it, oftentimes because it's preying upon a weakness or some type of negative feeling that we already have about that. They say it at the right time, we buy in, and off we go, either wasting our money on it, wasting our time, worse, both, and off we go. So let's just remember this pattern, and remember when someone comes in with information, take some time to fact check it. Think about it the next day or a week later when it's not the heat of the moment. Ask yourself if this is something you would do had this person not entered your life or your situation at that moment in time. And be wise. Let's be careful that we don't take their problem and then buy their solution that only they benefit from. And that can be applied to so many different things. So, that's today's story time. I hope that blessed you, and perhaps no matter what age you are, when someone comes to you with a doom and gloom scenario, you will think like the crab and say, you know what? Something about this just isn't right. I think I'm going to go back to my pond where I was happy before I met you and think about this another day. Miss Dymond loves you very much, guys. Thank you so much for sticking this out with me the entire time. Again, if these bless you, I would appreciate your energetic contributions in the forms of liking and subscribing, or even donating if you feel so led. Thanks so much. See you next time on another episode of Storytime with Miss Dymond.